Okay, this is Orlando Wilson, and what I want to talk about in this video is something that a lot of people don't understand about the close protection business. And that is that a lot of clients that have security, or especially those that assign security, don't want security. This is where a lot of times in the security business in general, a lot of people, clients, businesses, etc., don't like having security, but they need it. Corporate security world, they need it for insurance purposes, etc., but it's an expense they don't want to spend the money on. In the close protection business, a lot of clients see their security teams, their close protection personnel, their security drivers as being nothing more than spies. A lot of clients will feel that they're inhibited in their behavior because they have a CP guy with them who's reporting all their movements, reporting where they're going, telling tales on them, etc., etc. A lot of cases it's true. This is where if a client assigns security to his children, to his wife, wife assigning security to a husband, and I've got a story about that. Maybe the reason they're assigning security is one, to keep them out of trouble, but also to follow their movements and find out what they're up to. This is where in the close protection business, and this is where a lot of people in the corporate security world that try to push close protection services don't understand there needs to be a good rapport between the close protection personnel and the clients. I'll give you a few examples. I remember years ago, well, a long time ago now, I had the security for one location in Miami, and we had a very good relationship with the clients, European clients, and they wanted services. They wanted things done properly. But the staff of their business didn't. The staff of the business, how can we put it, very South Florida, gay, Hispanic, etc., seen myself and my guys as being a little bit too strict, and chances are we were spying on them and we were keeping them in order and watching what they were doing just as much as we're watching for the other bad guys. And you know what, that's part of our job in corporate when we're providing corporate security services, because most threats, most theft come from the inside anyway, right? So we had it where, especially with one guy on that contract, when he got a little bit senior, when he worked his way up the ladder, he's doing everything possible to put the knife into us and sabotage us, etc. But that's a whole nother story. Too many stories for another time. I've got more on that contract. I've got an article up about racial, sexual discrimination on my blog. I think I've also done a video about it where I highlight the issues with some of the issues with that contract. So this is where a lot of people will want to get you out. And even though the clients can like you, even though you signed a contract, it doesn't mean that all the staff will like you. And the chances are they're going to be trying to, somebody will be trying to sabotage you somewhere. Back onto the close protection business. I know of one lady that was stuck on a job in the US. And I know her personally, very, very good person. And she was stuck on a job to look after, let's say, an influential person from the Caribbean. And I don't think this influential person from the Caribbean, who had his own security with him, particularly appreciated being looked after. He's a little bit of a macho guy, going to be doing a lot of, making a lot of bold statements. And here he has arrived in America, and he's got a white chick looking after him. A white chick being his bodyguard. Didn't particularly suit his image. So that was issues to start with. That was stupidity on the company's perspective, but it's an American company thinking, well, we'll just send a female to America, DI and all that bullshit. Close protection business is not a DEI business. That went south. They didn't want her, even though she's a very capable person. I know of another job in Europe, a job that went down in Italy. There was an Italian guy on the job who I know personally, very, very good guy. And he said the client, female client with a couple of kids, didn't like him from the moment they met. First to second morning, he goes down, he's staying in the same hotel they are, just a basic Overwatch job. Goes down to the reception of the hotel, 10 o'clock in the morning or something. They're going shopping. He goes down there, asks the concierge to get the water taxis ready, and they're like, oh, she's already left. She left 30 minutes before he did. Even though they'd arranged to meet at 10 o'clock, she left 9:30 or something. So he's speaking to the concierge to try and find out from the water taxis where she's gone. They're finding out for him where the taxi dropped her off. Venice is a very, the water taxis in Venice are very, how can I put it, very client-orientated. They weren't keeping secrets. Everybody knows what's going on. It's a very service-orientated place if you've been in with the right people. By the time he found out where she was and he was going to jump in a water taxi and go to her and find her, hook up with him, he gets a call from a company that employed him saying, where are you? Why didn't you turn up this morning? And as he's trying to explain what's going on, they're like, look, you didn't turn up this morning. She doesn't want you anymore. You're fired. You know what? In that situation, things didn't click. That girl in South Florida would have been ideal for that female client because she wanted somebody to go shopping with, etc. She didn't want Overwatch, strict Overwatch, and vice versa. There's two cases where clients are assigned security, they don't want security, or the security doesn't click. Maybe they want security, but they don't. They want the right type of security. I remember, I was thinking about this when I was doing this video. I was doing one job in London a long time ago. And all it was a couple of days, 5 or 6 days, house sitting, a very nice apartment in Mayfair, very nice part of London. And I turned up to the job and the maid let me in, or the housekeeper let me in. I was there overnight. The place was empty. The client was out of the country. I don't know the story. Not my business. I'm house sitting. I'm let in, etc. And however long later, somebody's knocking at the door, etc. I don't know who it is. It was the personal assistant, the money man, the fixer for the client. Client, wealthy Arab. I didn't know who it was. Luckily in those days, cell phones were just coming in. So I managed to get reception on my analog Nokia. Spoke to the guy that put me on the job, who luckily he picked up, and he said, yeah, this is the fixer. He spoke to him, we identified him. Yeah, he can come in the house. He's the fixer. You know what? That guy disliked me from that moment because I ID'd him, checked him out, etc. And I think maybe he was the problem because he was using the client's house when the client wasn't in residence. But a couple of times that evening he come very sharp because he stayed there. He was working in one of the rooms. Oh, you need to leave. You need to go now. You need to do this. You need to do that. And again, I found out the guy that put me on the job, and I went, no, of course not. The client wants you there. The client wants services, so stay there. This guy was adamant. And the guy that put me on the job phoned me up the next day and said, again, he understood things. Old school Met Police. Asked me about the fixer, and I said, no, I'm just there. I'm not even watching TV. I'm there reading the book. Sat in this nice apartment reading a book. That's it. Made myself a couple of cups of coffee. That's it. He says, no, the fixer put a complaint in against me, etc., etc. Whatever. I said, is the place dirty? Is the place whatever? What's the problem? He said, no, the fixer's an asshole. They don't want you there. So this is where a lot of times that happened early on in my career, and it said, I mean, a lot of times people are going to go out their way to try and screw you up because for whatever reason, they might need security, they might be assigned security, but they don't want security. So that's something you need to take into consideration. Anyway, a few little stories there. In the meantime, follow me along on social media. I have an array of these videos up. I've also got an array of books up on Amazon that talk about various aspects of the close protection, security business, etc. Social media, we're up on the main platforms again. I prefer LinkedIn, but we're up on the other platforms as well now. We're even up on TikTok, we use occasionally. We're back up on Facebook if you can find us. find out that's under a personal account for me, but we're back up. So follow us along on social media for a lot more of these videos, content, etc. If you have any relevant questions, please feel free to reach out. Meantime, be good, stay safe, and try to stay out of trouble.